Hello and welcome to Fastlane for another week with Matty Shaw, and we're joined in studio by political correspondent here for the special election edition, Mr. Nathan Webb. How you doing, mate?
That's a bit generous. How are you going?
Oh, good, mate. Good. You're here to talk your number one topic. I've been trying to get Nathan in the studio for weeks and weeks and weeks, and he said, Matthew, I'm not going on the radio. Do it in your voice, though. Do it in your voice.
Matthew, I'm not going on radio.
And I said, mate, I've got a topic for you that you might love, and it involves our good friend Kevin Rudd. And he said, well, I'm in, because he loves Labor, as he says, his preferred party. So we're going to be talking everything election today with the Australian, the federal and state election coming up this Saturday the 7th. Which primary school are you going to go to vote?
Just to tell you, the state election is not coming up on the weekend. That happened quite a while ago.
Wasn't it the same thing? Well, this is going to be a very, very interesting show.
Start.
This is Fastlane with Matty Shaw. Enjoy! And yes, indeed, you are listening to Fastlane with Matt Shaw on the Election Speical here on Fastlane. And we've got a message from our good friend Naomi Cook.
More Fastlane coming up next.
I should have got her to do some elections things, hey?
No.
This is Fastlane's Election Speical. You don't reckon so? It says there that you've got a message from everyone's
yeah, I got a message from Clive Palmer
favourite
today.
overweight billionaire. We spoke about Clive on the show before, and he's sent you a message. What has he said? Read out his message.
No, it's far too long.
Just read out his points. What does Clive stand for?
Clive wants to release 70 billion as the economy.
Yeah, he's going to do that. All right, so on the ads, right, what he's saying that because people pay tax every month or every 3 months or something, and he's saying that if you pay tax every year, like if they put a longer period of time between paying tax, they're going to get more money, and then it circulates around, and somehow we make $7 billion a year. That's how I...
Strictly speaking, you don't know what you're talking about here.
Okay, can you explain it to me?
$70 billion, yeah, they're going to do like tax breaks, so $2,000 per person, depending if you earn it.
Yeah.
And then they want you to spend that $2,000 and you'll pay 10% GST.
Was that like the money that Kevin Rudd gave everyone? Was that like that? When
no.
In the GFC, like the surplus, like all the families got like $800 and stuff, and they wanted you to spend it on like
You don't know what
TVs.
GST is, do you?
Yeah, no, GST is the tax that you got to pay for just
Okay,
like
good, yeah,
fun stuff.
Yeah, but no.
So like the tax that you have to pay to get it into the country. Yeah.
Let's move on.
I'm obviously joking, guys. I'm not. Yeah, so he keeps banging on about fringe benefits tax. Can you explain to me fringe benefits tax? Just so you don't know what it is?
I'm not entirely cluey on it, to be perfectly honest.
Dad was trying to explain it to me before, and he said that it's like if you work somewhere and you've got like a company car or something like that. That's a fringe benefit. So
they're gonna. All right, yeah. So if people have some benefits like that,
yeah,
they're gonna give you a tax break. Is that?
Yeah, they're gonna.
I should know this, shouldn't I?
Well, apparently Kevin Rudd's already gotten rid of fringe benefits tax.
Look, there's a few things that are contradicting with this.
Yeah, it's sometimes it gets a little bit. The waters are a bit murky on the odd fringe benefits tax, and
well, it's politics.
That is politics, mate, and that's why I've got you in the studio as our resident expert, Lord Webb. But have you... Pauline Hanson, she was from One Nation, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She wasn't a Family First candidate like our good friend Henry. We can just leave that going in the background, because we've all heard it before, haven't we, Nathan?
I can clearly see they spent a hell of a lot of money there.
Yeah, you did. I mean, but do you think it works for him?
No, not at all. Let's all vote for Henry.
You don't reckon that... See, I'd vote for him now.
Is that
Mind you, I'm planning on voting for Palmer United, though, so...
Palmer, do you know who Palmer United's candidate for Bowman, which is our electorate here?
Yeah.
His name is John Wayne.
Really?
John Wayne was a famous cowboy quite a few years ago.
Wasn't... that was Bruce Wayne who was Batman.
Yeah, I thought it was Batman first.
Yeah. That would have been good.
That would have been even better.
Yeah, that would have been the best if Batman was leading the old the charge. I would have voted for Batman.
If he turned up in a costume, then I'd consider it.
He's got a lot of underground gear going on, which is probably what the Redlands need. Just dig underground, have a few bunkers. Morgan Freeman might come out. Endless possibilities. Well, everyone's overweight billionaire. $8 billion he's worth. He owns Mineralogy Pty Ltd.
Isn't it mineralogy?
Look, to be honest, okay. Yeah, all right, mineralogy works as well.
Mineralogy.
Would he be the richest man in Australia?
He's the richest man in Cleveland. Not Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Queensland, at least.
Is Gina? How much is Gina
Gina
worth?
Reinhardt.
I'll give Gina a Google. In the meantime, though, a little ad for Kogan's just popped up. You can pick up a 32-inch smart TV, $289, guys. So get on that. While I just Google what Gina Reinhardt's worth, you're going to read out Palmer's next policy or his next plan.
Yeah, give me a sec. Clivey, what are we saying?
Gina's smashed him.
He wants to, yeah, okay, so I like this one. He will make the first $10,000 of every home loan tax deductible.
How?
That's a good idea, actually.
But how does that help anyone? Like, I don't understand.
It'll encourage people
to buy homes instead of rent.
Take out home loans.
Is that just going to benefit the banks, though?
It'll benefit everyone.
I think
it's kind of it's a marketing strategy. It's a good one. If you start, they want to try and make people buy houses.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but there's not enough houses to house everyone, is there? Because there's
thank
already
God
housing.
For land. We do have land that we can build on.
That's right, because this is Australia, God's country. Gina Reinhardt.
I'll ignore that.
$18.9 billion.
Oh, that's not bad, is it?
So she's
I think I can live with that.
Smashed old Clivey by around about $10 billion. Oh, it says on another website she's worth $28 billion. So,
good sources.
I mean, there's a 10. You could give or take 10 billion, just up or down. Does she have more money than the? Oh no, the government spends more than the government spends a bit.
Just a tad more, yeah. You can talk a few trillion with the governments.
You reckon? Do you really think so? Though? Do you think? Okay, all right, if Reinhardt, Clive, and who else is a rich Aussie? Hugh Jackman.
Actually, no, rich Aussie in Parliament.
Well, how much is Branson worth?
Branson's not in Parliament.
Never mind. Okay, if they all team together, could they take over with all their money? Like if they started a war? Do you
Why
reckon?
are they going to start a war?
Look, to be honest, I'm not sure how they're going to start a war. Why does, just speaking of Richard Branson, why does he get a sir in front of his name? What did he do that
Probably because he's been knighted.
How do you get knighted? How do you go about doing that?
I don't know, you have to do something special.
He's only worth 4.6, so who cares about
Just a poor little bastard.
Who cares about Richard? Because he's poor, obviously. He doesn't have the full package on Foxtel. And, yeah, so do we want to keep going on Clive, or do you want to move to the sex party? We'll go to the sex party, and then we'll go back to Clive.
All right.
So the sex party's come out this week, and they've said a few things.
This is brilliant.
Just in the meantime, there's 4 days, 3 hours, 47 minutes, and 26 seconds until the federal election. Get ready. Here's an ad from the sex party.
And what I'm about to say may surprise you. There's too much going on in Australia. If civil liberties are important to you, then vote for the Australian Sex Party. Because as much as we like sex...
So as much as we like sex, we don't like being beeped. So they're very liberal with the old F-bomb. The people from Sex Party. Would you ever consider voting for the Sex Party?
Not in a million years.
Why not?
Well, look at their values. What do they stand for?
They don't like getting... That's one thing they don't stand for.
They don't like getting and they like sex.
No, they do like sex. They love it.
No, I said they don't like getting and they like sex.
Oh, okay. I don't see what's wrong with that.
You should never be allowed to vote, Matt.
Look, I still stand by my claim that whoever gives me a free sausage at the door can swing can swing my vote. Now, having a look here on the old news.com.au, epic fails for the election campaign. We're having a look here just as it comes up there. What was the note you got from Labor this week?
That's Liberal. Labor, I got a note from Kevin Rudd I got a note from Kevin Rudd and Brisky.
John Brisky?
I don't know. I didn't care.
Oh.
Brisky better for Bowman.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I thought Laming was better for Bowman.
No, Laming's a Liberal.
Oh, Laming's Liberal. Interesting. Well, Andrew Lemming did come to our school, so I mean, I'm more inclined.
They all came to the school.
Did Brisky come?
That's a good point. Brisky didn't come to school.
Brisky never came. He doesn't get my vote.
Nope.
Even if he gives me a sausage, stuff him. Stuff you, Brisky.
Lemming gives out Lamingtons.
Does he?
Yeah.
Got my vote.
That's pretty clever.
Is it bad if you vote for Liberal for the local government? What's that called?
You mean the local government?
Yeah, just like the local council, like the
local government.
Yeah, the local. Okay, so if I vote one party, I'm not going to say Liberal Labor, and then I vote, say, Palmer United or the Greens for the federal Senate. Can you do that? Is that bad?
We live in a democracy, supposedly, so you can do whatever you want. But if you do that, it kind of means you don't really know. You're kind of voting for what they're telling you they're going to do. I think that's kind of what everyone's moving to at the moment. They're kind of losing their
loyalty.
Their loyalty to parties, which I think it's a stupid idea to be loyal to a party.
Well, the Liberal candidate James Diaz has been accused of refusing to answer a basic question. Well, there's no surprises there. He was asked from Andrew Jaffe, a radio announcer at the shops in Blacktown. What did he ask him? He just kept... all he could say, the only answer he could give was wherefore families. And he just
was that the guy that... Like, they asked him for his policies, he just didn't know what he was talking about?
And he just went, where for families? I think that was him. Yeah, he said he couldn't answer anything. He said, what are your reasons for not going to the community forum? I've already answered that question, but I've just asked you and I've already answered. And then he said, we're not answering any more questions. And the radio announcer said, but you haven't answered any. And he said, we're for families. So the election campaign is going well. At the moment now, Tony Abbott's up in the opinion polls, could you say?
Definitely.
Do you think Labor can bring it back?
No, not in a million years. I think they've kind of killed themselves in the polls.
Do you think, could you say Kevin Rudd was clutching at straws when he brought out the gay marriage, could you say, information? Or the promise, could you say? Just like Julia Gillard once promised, there will be no carbon tax under the government I lead.
Well, that's an interesting point, actually, because as your lovely mother pointed out before...
Absolutely.
Kevin Rudd is a devout Christian.
I wouldn't say he's devout, but he says he's Christian.
He is somewhat.
Okay.
Compared to most other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's kind of going for the gay policies.
Yeah, he is.
That's worded very wrongly. He's going for the gay votes.
Well, the Australian Sex Party's going both ways.
And what I'm about to say may surprise you. There's too much going on in Australia.
That is brilliant.
Well, billionaires don't usually like to wait for anyone. Especially don't like waiting for people like Kevin Rudd. I mean, I wouldn't wait for Kevin Rudd. I've got absolutely no time for the man at all.
You're a hard person to please, aren't you?
I've famously said on this show that I'd be voting for Kevin until he opened his mouth. I mean, yeah, Kevin Rudd's an interesting bloke, and he's not doing much for Australia at this point in time. Do you reckon?
He's doing about as much as every other politician.
Palmer's doing a great job.
Palmer's just putting his face in the TVs.
Mining magnate Clive Palmer has started a stoush with Kevin Rudd, claiming he was forced to wait to get his private jet refueled because the Prime Minister's plane was needed to be done first.
Poor darling.
So Clive, look at Clive. There's a picture of Clive here, and he's about to punch some mug in the face. He's got his jacket off and the gloves are on.
I love rich people.
Far out. Pictures show an angry-looking Palmer who was running at the PM with his Palmer United party on the phone at a fenced-off area at Melbourne Airport. He tweeted at KRUD PM, obviously frightened of the threat from the Palmer United Party has tried to delay our campaign. Do you think other politicians feel threatened by Clive Palmer?
I think he's doing rather well for someone who